Alright, hey guys, welcome to the Cancer New Moon yoga class. I'm very excited for this class because this is a really nice, peaceful new moon and it's very intuitive, flowy energy, so that's how this class is going to be. It's going to be really relaxed. You know I'm not lying because my hair's down. I'm not even going to pull it up for the class, so that's how you know. Also note, I have these microphones, guys. I invested in these. They're really nice and they're not working right now and they're on, and so bear with me that I'm talking to the camera. I will do a nice voiceover for the actual class once I sort out this issue. But it is windy outside, so I apologize. I wanted to use the mics for this intro, but we'll get on with it, right? So Cancer is a water sign. It's like a feminine energy, so it's like nurturing, kind of giving energy. The theme of this moon, because most likely you're feeling a little emotional at this time, especially because Cancer brings up a lot of those feelings. It rules the heart chakra, which is why this is going to be a heart opening class, which is always good, but we're going to be dealing with inside emotions too. There's two different transits happening right now, so you might either be feeling really good with emotions or a little bit angry and frustrated right now. So we have a transition with Venus, which represents like love in the planets, and that's kind of coming through. So if you're getting affected by that, it depends on your birth chart. So sometimes your birth chart might be more aligned with the love section right now, so you might be feeling like really good, happy energy, or you're like me and you're kind of more aligned with the Mars side right now. It's Mars and Pluto have like a transition going on, that you're feeling a little frustrated and maybe like angry, which is okay. All emotions are emotions. You have to learn how to feel them with non-judgment and then kind of transmute that energy into something positive, which is what we're doing in this class. I want you to think about any emotions you're feeling in the beginning of the class, and we're going to take them and like work them through so that you can turn them into something new, because new moons are about new beginnings, fresh starts, things like that. So we're going to take all the feelings, everything that you're feeling right now with the heart openers, and we're going to push that energy out and turn it into something good, turn it into something that you can work with this new period in your life. So that's what the whole gist of this class is today, actually. Very excited to do this class. Again, Cancer is an intuitive sign, so it also does have a little bit of the third eye in its, it rules the heart chakra, but it also has a connection to the third eye chakra. So we will hit just a little bit of that in the class. I'm kind of teaching this class like intuitively. I had a really good idea come in my head and I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm excited to teach the class this way, because I feel like if I teach it with a rigid structure, it actually wouldn't be a good class for Cancer, because it's supposed to be very flowy and watery and like go with the flow. It's almost restorative, so it's very, like I said, it will be on the floor for the beginning, and the end will stand a little bit to do some stuff, but it's a very nice flow. My hair is down, like I said, I am not getting sweaty today, so that is the theme of this class. One last note, the theme kind of with this specific moon is almost like going within and just like focusing on healing whatever you're feeling, the good or the bad, just kind of working on yourself. So if you feel like you need to take time away right now, or just kind of like run away, do things by yourself, hang out by the water, like just go inward. It's all about healing in this moon. So if you're feeling those emotions right now, like don't be too startled. It's a good time to go within and actually take care of yourself, because sometimes we nurture other people, or we put ourselves out there too much and give our energy too much, but we don't like take time for ourselves. So this moon is kind of asking you to go within and just focus on you, some self-care, things like that. So that is a good theme to bring into this moon as well. When you think about Cancer, it's ruled by the crab. Not ruled by the crab, that's the animal for Cancer. And think about a crab, they're like super squishy and soft inside, but they have this hard shell. So sometimes we might be putting up a hard shell, but we really are feeling all these emotions inside. So think of it as a way to let them out. You're safe, you have your shell, but like release anything you're feeling. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. It's getting a little windy and loud, so I just want to cut this part short. You will need blocks or something like a book maybe, but I'd recommend a block or two. I have these nice thick yoga blocks. I don't know what that stain is. It looks like a mushroom. And then I have a strap as well. You do not need the strap. I have options for a strap, but I would say you need a block. So grab onto those props, get it set up, and we are gonna get on the mat. We're gonna start in a nice heart opening pose. So let's get into it. We are going to start off in a supported fish pose. You're going to need 2 blocks for this. Remember, with blocks, the taller the block is, the easier it'll feel for you. The lower the block is, the harder it will feel. So I'm going to put one block between my shoulder blades and the other behind my head for support. Again, you're welcome to take a regular fish pose, but since we're just getting into it, I'd recommend everyone start in the supported pose. We're gonna put our feet together, the soles of the feet should be touching, and we're slowly gonna lower ourselves down. So that first block is gonna go right in between the shoulder blades, and then adjust the block behind you so that your head is resting on it. Feel how open your chest is here. This is a great pose to start. You can bring the arms to your side, or you can cactus them above the head for a little bit more of an opening. So just play around with that, and let's get settled and take a few seconds to connect to our body. So start to notice your breath. We're just becoming aware of any sensations here. Maybe you want to set an intention for this class. Remember, new moons are about new beginnings. We're opening our heart to something new. So if you have an intention for the next coming months, think of it now, state it, and keep that with you during this practice today. Remember, if any feelings come up, the point of this practice is to transmute that energy. Good feelings, bad feelings, it doesn't matter. There's no judgment towards them. We're going to turn that into something new. So turn that old energy into something new today. Just keep breathing here. If your knees are starting to bother you in this position, you can just put the soles of the feet flat on the floor and knock the knees together as an option. But otherwise, just keep breathing here. Open ourselves up to that healing energy, that nurturing energy. Start to invite some movement back in. We want to remove the blocks and then make our way back down to the mat. So we're going to bring those knees into your chest. You can rock side to side a little bit, point and flex those feet, the ankles. You can roll them out in different directions. Just be mindful with each movement. Going for a twist here, so bringing both those legs to the right, we're looking over that opposite shoulder. You shouldn't be pressing too heavily down with your hand. Just want to gently lay it on your knee and let the gravity do the work here. And switch sides when you're ready. If you have any neck injuries, look the same way as your knees are going. Otherwise, look in the opposite direction. Okay, we're gonna rock ourselves up, or you can manually sit up using your hands to a nice seated position here. Just notice any differences already in your body. So hands on the knees, or you can cross your arms and grab your ankles. We are gonna start some cat-cows from the seated position. So working with the breath, we inhale as the chest comes forward, head goes up. Exhale as we round the shoulders, tuck in the pelvis. You want to be really fluid with it today. Inhale up, exhale as we round the shoulders. Again, Cancer is a water sign. We're going to embody that nice fluidity. Go with the flow energy today. Inhale as we come up. You can add some circles in one direction if you want to start to go to the left. Keep that cat-cow movement, kind of arching the back as you come forward, rounding the back as we come to the back of the circle. Good. And we'll reverse it here. Inhale in the front, exhale as we come towards the back. Adding in whatever feels good to you here to wake up that spine. Okay, we'll come to seated for a second. We're going to make our way into a tabletop. I'm just going to scoot back a little bit so you guys can see. So tabletop, those wrists are underneath your shoulders. We have the tops of our feet flat. We're slowly going to start some more circles here. So to the left, let's circle, putting some pressure on those wrists and then coming back just to warm them up. So inhale as we come forward, exhale as we come back. And we'll reverse it. Do about 4 on this side. Come to stillness. We're going to do some more cat-cows, really arching that back here, dropping the chest and shoulders. Exhale, push those palms against the mat to round and really arch the top of your shoulder blades. Inhale as we come down. Exhale, let's push away. We're warming up the chest a bit here, opening and closing a few times. Good. There we go, guys. Inhale as the head comes up. Really tuck the tailbone in. See if you can push a little further. Feel the palms. Invite that fluidity in. Maybe go side to side. You can wagtail the legs if you'd like. Okay, so again, I invite you to use the block for this next pose. We will do a puppy pose to open the chest and shoulders a bit. A puppy pose, you want to have your elbows touching the floor. The goal is to get your chest down onto the mat. I can't get my chest down to the mat, but there's an option for that, which is lovely. We can take a block and press that right on our chest. Again, maneuver it depending on how your chest is. If it's uncomfortable for you, you can bring it up a little bit or a little lower. You want to press that third eye right into the mat. Again, putting a little bit of pressure on it will help activate it, and Cancer does rule that sector. So we're pressing the palms, pressing the elbows, pressing the tops of the head here, sinking into this chest and shoulder opener. At any time, if this feels too intense, you can sit those hips back and go into a child's pose. Just keeping the palms pressed against the floor will help open up the chest. So find that ground. Keep breathing down here. Don't lose sight of that breath. Every exhale is a chance to release. Every inhale is a chance to invite in new energy, new opportunities. And again, sometimes these poses might feel a little uncomfortable. As long as it's not hurting you and you just feel that slight discomfort, sitting through it is the best way to open yourself up. Listen to your body as always. You can start to come up a little bit. You can walk the hands in. Remove that block. Coming into a plank, you can either lower yourself down with your knees or take a quick chaturanga, just to get that whole belly down to the floor. All right, we're going into crocodile pose. We're just going to take the hands right underneath your forehead, press your hips and press the tops of your feet into the mat. Okay, we're going to take those hands, tuck them underneath your armpits here for a second, and then we're going to go into Sphinx. So that's where you want your elbows to be. So keep the elbows right underneath your armpits. Forearms are flat on the ground. Keep that gaze forward. Pull the shoulders down. We're opening the chest. And again, we're activating that third eye by looking straight ahead. So we're going to go into a variation. We're going to bring the fingertips out to the side of the body. So bring them out a few inches to your right and left. And we're going to practice coming up and down here. So inhale, let's push the fingertips against the ground. Rise up nice and controlled. 3 seconds to go down. Good. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, we rise up very slow and controlled. You're pressing those fingertips. Exhale, control the body on the way down. One more time. Inhale, we're coming up. Nice, slow and controlled. Exhale, we're taking 3 seconds to get down. And we'll go back into that crocodile pose, pushing the hips into the mat to release. We have one more shoulder opener that we're going to go into. So bring the arms underneath the armpits again. We're going to take the right arm and extend it straight out to the side. Bringing the left leg over the torso, we're going to try and tap the ground behind you. Again, if that's too much, you can just pick up the leg and have it bent. But if you can get it behind you, you're going to feel the shoulder blades start to open. If you bend your arm into like a W shape, it will make it more intense. So take a few seconds to play around. If you keep the arm straight, palm down, a little easier. Have it bent, it's a little harder. You can also put a block underneath your foot if you can't reach the floor. But just sink into this feeling. Feel the chest opening. All right, let's switch sides. So again, we're gonna extend that left arm. My left side's a little bit tighter, so it takes me a second to actually adjust into this. But again, find what works for you. And don't be afraid to change at any time. You can always bring it up or down. Just listening to our bodies today. Again, we're opening our heart to invite in something new. Keep that theme in your head and check back in with your intention. Just a few more breaths here, and we'll slowly make our way back to crocodile. Again, pressing those hips down, pressing the tops of the feet, just realigning the spine after those twists. Just don't fall asleep on me down there. Option to grab the left leg for a nice quad stretch here. You can grab onto the ankle. And we'll go to the other side as well. Let's get ready for our first downward dog of class. We're going to tuck those toes and push ourselves back into that downward dog. And pedal out those feet as well. Kind of get some movement going here. And we want to make sure our head is heavy. Going for a lunge, guys, right into it here. I want you to pick that right leg up and drive it forward into a nice low lunge. So we make sure that our knee is above the ankle and our back foot is flat on the ground. Again, option to grab some blocks here. You can have them on the lower setting for your hands, or you can bring them to that higher setting to help you out, because you want to have the chest open. So if you find yourself hunching forward to touch the ground, invite those blocks into your practice to help open you up today. Option to open up more, bringing the hands up above the head on the inhale, lengthening. And on that exhale, we're going to bring the arms down into a cactus. There we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's cactus those arms, pulling the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus those arms. We're going to come up to standing. You can use the blocks or you can push against the ground to grow for a nice forward fold here. Exhale, we take a halfway lift. And inhale, we forward fold one more time. Exhale, let's rise up to mountain pose. Just take a moment, notice if your chest feels open. If any emotions are coming up, just invite them in. Don't judge them. Just let them float by. Okay, we are going to step that right leg back here. We are going into a warrior two position with the feet, so a little bit wider than where your shoulder width sits. And again, you can invite the blocks into your practice here, so put them by a leg if you feel like you will need them. We're going to straighten the legs out. We are going to go into our triangle pose here. So for triangle pose, we are pulling from the side of our body, so the oblique here. You're not pulling from your lower back. So you want to keep that tailbone tucked in and really visualize pulling from the side of your body. The tops of your ribs are lengthening over. Now, many people do this pose. They'll go all the way down to the ground like I'm doing here. They'll try to touch the floor. I find the best way to do it is to really just pull from the side. don't worry about getting all the way down to the ground. We're trying to stretch the side of our body here, so make that the focus. Good. All right. We are going to lean forward for that warrior two. So you want to bend the front leg. Let's reverse the palm and we go into that nice reverse warrior for a second. So again, you want to keep that front leg bent. Looking up towards those fingertips here. Inhale, let's come back to warrior. All right. We are getting ready for our goddess pose, so we're keeping that tailbone tucked in. You want to have your knees in line with your toes. Think about if your toes are arrows and they're pointing out in opposite directions, your knees are going that way too. Sink into this pose. Inhale, let's bring those arms up over the head. Exhale, let's cactus those arms. Opening the chest here today. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, pull the arms down. Feel the lats as you bring the elbows back. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, nice and powerful with meaning, bring the arms down. All right, let's come out of that pose for a second here. We're immediately going into a nice forward fold, so push the hips back. Grab that block if you need it. You can use 2 blocks here to rest the hands or just use 1. Let the upper body get heavy. Let the head drape. You can widen your stance, kind of play around with it here. If you can get your elbows to the floor, you can always invite a block to rest your head on the ground. I'm stacking my fists on top of each other to rest my head. Option to add a bind if you want to grab the back of the arms or interlock the fingers for another chest opener here. Do what feels good to you today. To come out of a forward fold, we're going to bend the knees and push the hips back up to standing. We're going to make our way back up to mountain pose. Again, taking a second here to breathe. Shake out the legs. We are getting ready for a balance pose. Remember, any balance pose that we take, you can always do the first level of putting that heel against your leg. Otherwise, we're going into dancer today. So for dancer, we're picking up that right leg. You can hold it and just hold the right leg, or you can lean forward, put all that weight in the left leg, and bring the left arm up over your head. Try to keep your eyes concentrated on one spot here, breathing and keeping your concentration. Remember, this is a grounding pose. It's teaching us that we can do hard things and don't be afraid to fail. Let's forward fold here on the exhale just to release our lower back a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Drop the head, shake it yes, shake it no. So we are going to repeat this sequence just on the left side. So coming back up to standing, take a second in mountain pose. Feel the shift. Let's get ready to go. So inhale, we step the left leg back this time. We have our triangle pose coming up first. We want to micro bend in the knees, and then we're going to start to pull from the side of our body. If you feel your lower back, make sure you're tucking in that tailbone here, looking at those fingertips, pressing the right arm into the right leg, press that palm against your knee here. Good, exhale, we're coming up to that warrior 2 for a quick second. We're going to flip the palm up towards the sky and start to go back into our nice reverse warrior. We're using the side of our body here, keep that in mind, and keep the knee bent. We don't want the right leg to straighten. Exhale, we're going to come up. I'm turning around so you can see me. We have our goddess pose again. Again, tucking the tailbone. Make sure your feet are turned out slightly and your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. Inhale, arms up above the head. Exhale, we're going to cactus the arms back and down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus it down. Feel your heart opening up. Bring that gaze above you. Good, exhale down. All right, we're coming up for that forward fold. Push the hips back behind you. You want a nice micro bend in the knee at all times. And grab on your blocks if you need them. Play around with the foot stance a bit. Feel yourself releasing. Okay, bending those knees to come back up. We're going to make our way to the front of the mat for that balance pose, shaking out the legs for a second here. So we're going to balance on our right leg now. Again, you can always just bring that heel to touch your thigh and have the toes on the floor for level 1. Level 2, you pick up the leg and hold it there. And if you're feeling confident, you want to take that dancer pose today. I'm going to start to lean forward slightly. All of the weight is in the right leg. The right arm comes up. Keep those fingertips pointed. Feel the energy coming out of you, pointing out through those fingertips. Keeping your eyes locked on one object here. You can do hard things today. Stay with it here, you got this, and we'll come down. Oof, right into a nice forward fold. All right, that was our standing portion of our practice today. So take some time here to shake it out. Again, if you want to take any poses here that come to you intuitively, add that in now. But we're going to meet down in a child's pose to rest for a few seconds. Let that head get heavy. I'm taking a wide child's pose to open the hips. But again, take any version of a child's pose that feels good to you. Option to prayer the hands behind the head so you get a little bit of a shoulder opener if that is in your practice today. All right, making our way up to a seated hero pose for just a few seconds. We're going to come on to our sit bones here, so make sure you're grounded, make some room for your flesh, just kind of pull and sit. So we have some animal poses before we're done for the practice today. First level to show you for back bends is a glute bridge. So you can do a supported glute bridge today by taking the block and placing it underneath your glutes if that is comfortable for you. So I'm going to demonstrate for you guys the crab pose, because this is Cancer. So for crab pose, again, seat bones are on the floor, your feet should be in line with your knees, and I'm bringing my arms back behind me, pulling the shoulder blades together. You're going to come up into a nice glute bridge here, so notice how my hips are up, my head is draped back. Again, if this is not in your practice, just take that supported glute bridge. We're going to meet down there at the end of this pose. Good, keep squeezing those glutes, keep the hips pushed up towards the ceiling here. Feel your neck opening. Get a little bit of the throat chakra in this pose. Good, and we'll come down slowly onto the elbows, onto the back, and we are meeting in that supported glute bridge. So everybody's going into it here. Placing that block either under your low back or on the middle of your glutes, whatever feels good to you. You want to take the pressure off your lower back with this pose. Driving the heels on the floor, and again, squeezing the glutes, hips up. All right, slowly remove that block. Bring the spine down one vertebrae at a time. We do have one more pose before we start to slow things down. So let's get up and stretch our neck for a second. You can pull the head to the side, let gravity pull the left side of your neck here. And switch sides, grabbing the hand over the ear. So the next pose we're going to get ready to take is camel pose, which is a very nice chest and heart opener. I'm showing you 3 different ways to do it today. So we have the blocks. Level 1, you can place the block underneath your sit bones in the hero pose here. This is awesome if you have any knee issues, so I definitely invite you to take this if your knees bother you a bit. We can grab onto our ankles, pull the shoulder blades up, and drop the head back. This is level 1. This is plenty of chest opener, so stay there if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, we can use the blocks here. So I have them on the highest setting. I'm going to pull my shoulder blades back, but I'm going to lift my hips up off my feet and then drop the head back here. Take some time to get situated into it, but this is supported camel pose. So find the version that works for you. If you're comfortable enough to try regular camel, which is just grabbing your ankles, go right ahead. But I'm going to stay here with the blocks today. Come down for a second. Breathe it out. Feel any feelings that are coming up. Maybe you can try to bring the blocks down a notch. That's what I'm going to do for this next one. But let's hold this for 3 breaths. Okay, bring those blocks down. I think I did every possible version of the camel pose today. My body was not feeling it, but I wanted to include it in this practice. So again, respect your body's limits. Bring that head down, go for a forward gaze. Let's activate that third eye for a few seconds here. Okay, we're gonna cross the legs and make our way down to the ground, slow and controlled here. Hug the knees into the chest. You can point and flex the toes. I'm going to invite you to take a happy baby before we make our way down for our last pose. So happy baby, you can start by pulling in the knees to the chest for the first level. If that's enough for you, you could stay there with it. The next level we could do here is by pushing the soles of the feet together like you're reading a book, and you can pull them in by holding your ankles. You can also push the feet together and pull in your knees, or I invite you to take a happy baby, a full version where you grab the soles of your feet, you flex the feet like you're pushing your feet against the ceiling. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, rocking side to side if that feels good to you today. You can always try flexing one leg, straightening it out. We're giving that spine a massage. And we're going to take a supine twist. So bring those legs down. We're going to twist them to the right side of the body. Again, your right hand, just let gravity do the work. No need to forcefully push those knees down. And we'll go to the other side. Exhale as you rotate and bring those legs down. Okay, we're going to make our way to Shavasana here. So take any final poses you need. I invite you to bring a pillow under your knees if you have any knee issues. But let's start to settle in. And just drop the body down. Feel your head get heavier. The shoulder blades. Release their tension. Release any tension you're holding in your thighs. Relax your feet. You can scan your face for a moment. Release any tension you're holding in your jaw, in your cheeks, around your eyes and forehead, and just sink into this feeling. I invite you again to look at anything that's coming up with no judgment. Any feelings, any thoughts, any repeating patterns here, let them come up and let them float away. Just observe how you feel in this moment. Slowly start to come back to your body. You can invite some movement into your fingertips, to your wrists and ankles. And I invite you to roll over onto your right side when you're ready. With your eyes closed, slowly make your way up to a meditative posture. You can open your eyes, slowly blink them open. And thank you so much for joining me in this practice. Just honor the feelings that are coming up here. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.